G'day champions, Shark Eyes back once again with another review, and today we're going to be looking at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Wreckage and Tiger Paw. If you saw my last review, you'll know that it was the ferret, so kind of ironic that somehow, some way, this set landed on Australian shores before anywhere else. Yes, technically it is in America, but it is locked by Target over there. Here in Australia, Target doesn't even stock the Classified Series line, so consider yourself lucky on that front. In fact, Target is pretty much a action figure wasteland for us Aussies. So we'll have a quick look at everything. He's number 137. Box, tampos, decos, figure, vehicle, legal mumbo jumbo, yada yada. Don't know if this actually goes to a new site, considering that Hasbro did update their tech this week, or last week. So that's a good question. Not going to find out now, but something to look into. Before we do rip into this, I am going to go through his skill sets. So we'll start with the top one here, which may be a little tough to see. Let's see if we can make that a little bit. Yeah, it's not going to, the zoom is not going to work too well, I don't think, but there we go. Okay, so that first one there is Environmental Specialist Jungle, and he is a level 2. The second one down is a icon that I don't recall seeing on any figure previously. I could be wrong, but that is actually classified, and he's a level 2. Classified in what? Who knows? The next one down is Jungle Combat, and he's a level 2 in that. And the last one is Explosives, and he's a level 3 in that. So those all make sense when you consider the history of the character, and I'll get into that in a little bit. And for now, let's crack this open. Whooshka! There it is, the unassembled Tiger Paw ATV. Now, if you already have the ferret, I can tell you that it is packaged the exact same way, and cutting out the wheels and putting them on, exact same thing. And if you have a look in the old instruction manual here, you'll see that there is a right way and a wrong way to put your tires on. So the tread needs to go that way. All right, so I'll bang those on. And what we'll do is, after we've had a look at this vehicle, we'll do a comparison to the ferret. Before we do that, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you don't know who I am, my name's Adam, also known as Shark Eyes. I've done a few reviews here and there. You might have seen, you might not have. But if you're checking this out for the first time, thanks for tuning in. And if you like what you see, throw a like at this video, throw a sub, because, little secret, Adam tends to get a lot of the classified stuff at the minute that it lands in Australia. Don't tell anyone. All right, so without further ado, let's put this thing together. All right, so I've whacked the tires on. You can see the configuration is in the right spot, but I've left one off just to show you, just in case you don't have the ferret, that these just go in with a nice little gentle push, and you'll hear that click, and wunderbar. The wheels be rolling, rolling, rolling. And you can see we have some suspension going on. All the other accessories for this are in here. So I'll quickly bust this open. The old potato chip bags. These bring back fond memories. Now, where did I put my knife? That's not a knife. This is a knife. All right, so this is also going to include the weaponry and other accessories for Wreckage. I'm just going to dump all this out because why? Because I like to have a little bit of chaos when I do these things. Always check your bags, make sure there's nothing in there. And in this case, there is not, so we can just go to that. Okay, now, when I did the ferret, I made a mistake when I put these on, so I wanted to correct that on this occasion. This is the bottom side, this is the top side, and these just go in like so, and they are snug and they fit there and everything is golden. So not this way, this way. All right, right, so just pop that in there with a little gentle how's your father, and then that's it. So that's those. I'm not going to take a massively big look at those. All these missiles or rockets, whatever you want to call them. But true to the traditional ferret, they just attach on here and on here, like so. Very snug fit. And that one is going to go on there, like so. And that is that so far. You've got your bull bar, cow bar, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I don't live in the vehicle realm. And so with that, what you do with this is you take this component and you bang it through here like so. Where are we? Adam's not doing this right. Okay, so we take this and we take this and we just slot it through like that so it's one piece, and then that should just go in like so. It's not rocket surgery, folks, but Adam hasn't played a lot with the ferret since he got it because time and time. So that's how it goes on. We got there, folks. Thank you for sticking with me, and that is that. Next up, you've got this. It's a steering column. It has the same deco as the one on the ferret, I believe. Let's just double check that. Yep, just a different color. Same display, no difference in the HUD. So there you go. I'm just going to pop that in like so. And that should just leverage in, screw in. Oh, that sounds a bit ratchety. No, that's not good. That's definitely stiffer than my other one. Yeah, see that? That's moving around very freely. Is not. Interesting. I'm not going to force it, fiddle ass around with it. Just going to leave it. Got to admit, full disclosure, I'm not actually a big Tiger Force fan. I had a lot of the figures when I was a kid. I don't think I had any of the vehicles, and the reason I got those figures was because we didn't get a lot of the earlier releases like the Duke and the Roadblock and stuff in their V1 looks. So that is why I got them. I no longer have them, and I just don't really have much of a compulsion to collect Tiger Force in the classified line. I just don't really need them. However, I made an exception with this set because I wanted a character that I've wanted for some time. More on that later. So let's do a quick comparison of this thing, which I'm not a big fan of. You can see that they've changed the paint decos. It is exactly the same weapon in every way, shape and form other than the paint. You've got port for blast effect, and there's one there, and there's that. And that is just going to clip on here with our little clipsy-doo. There's this one here, and that is just going to go in here. It is really cold here in Melbourne at the moment because it is winter and I'm sniffling, so I apologize for that. I can't do a lot about it. I have been out and about today walking dogs. And that just goes on like that, and there is the tiger paw. So let's do, bit of a comparison. Obviously, different tampos here to reflect the tiger paw. And throughout here, you've got the tiger stripes, you've got the eye. Not a massive fan of this because I feel like this design should be reserved for the Tiger Force aircraft. I think it's just a bit cheap, throwing it on everything. Like, come up with something a little bit different. I don't know, that's just my opinion. If you agree with it, let me know. If you don't agree with it, let me know in the comments. And what else we got that's different? Tampos on the wheels, I think. Let's have a look. The same or different? Definitely different. That says ATV. That says Cobra. That says PNR 23, and that says PNR 23. So they've left out any reference of Joe there, but as you can see here, they do have it there on the back cover. So secure cover here, Joe there. Now looking closer, this one does not have the missile launch information that the Cobra one has. In fact, there's nothing to go there, which is a little bit disappointing. And they have also, my finger's stuck, they have also decided to not go with the silver paint app on the exposed engine there, which is an interesting choice, but you know, whatever, maybe saves a bit of money. Back end, we love a good back end. There's no real difference. The petrol cap, I think it's a petrol cap, is red here. The Cobra one is blue. So yeah, that is pretty much it in terms of the ATV, and this ferret gun does not stay on well on my ferret, which is shit. So bring on Gridiron doing an accessory, because that is lousy. That's enough of the ferret. If you want to learn more about the ferret, you can go watch my review and see how much I paid for it. So that is a tiger paw, folks, but most of you are probably here for Wreckage, so let's get into that. Bang! Here is Wreckage. Now, if you are one of those people who is discovering this character for the first time, little history. Originally there was a figure in the 3 3/4 line that wasn't released, and his name was Sabretooth. And he was part of Tiger Force, and he was utilizing the Firefly V1 sculpt. And for whatever reason, didn't come out. Fast forward, I think it was like 03, and in part of a 5-pack or something like that, it was a Toys R Us assortment, I'm pretty sure, the Wreckage figure was released. And he was again released during the club days in the modern 4-inch line. And unfortunately, I do not have either of those figures, despite wanting both for quite some time. One day, perhaps, I will secure 1 or 2 of them. So when this set came out, I was all about getting this guy. So, having a look at him, we'll start with the face sculpt and also the nod to his origin with the Sabretooth face print here, which looks pretty cool. He looks like he has seen some shit as well. And I guess being like an explosive expert and a jungle operative, he would have seen some shit. So far, looking at it, it looks amazing. I just want to pan out for a second. The black and tan camo hits really, really does it for me. But let's look at things a bit closer. You can see he's got some nice paint apps on the webbing, you know, that really make it pop. The orange undershirt is a chef's kiss as far as I'm concerned. He's got the Tiger Force tampo on the shoulder there. I can live with or without that. And of course, just like his V1 figure, this is the Firefly classified buck and sculpt that we've seen before, that they've utilized for this. But yeah, so far I'm digging it. So let's see how he goes on the old flexibility. Yep, he's good. No stiffness at all. I just noticed something. Is that a zipper on his? I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a zipper, which is pretty cool. That's nice. In terms of the T-pose, yeah, he holds that well. Butterfly shoulder joints, bang bang. He can look down. He can look up, but not fully. Side to side, no problem. Exorcist, yep, cool. The ab crunch is present, but like Firefly, it is somewhat restricted by the web gear. Let's hope he doesn't suffer the same fate that Firefly release did with the really terrible floppy ab crunch. Van Damme wise, yep, you can almost get there. Inhibited a bit by the holster. drop down hips is really snug actually. But they are present. Not greatly though, but they are there. Ankle rockers. Yep. Ballerina pose. No problems. Can he kick his own ass? Let's find out. A little bit of stiffness there, but nothing untowards. The back is coming up. Hunky-dory. Everything is coming up. Wreckage. And this one, bang on the money. So overall, the figure, I'm not having any issues with whatsoever. This arm is a bit tight, actually. Just a bit tight in that joint there. That may need to go into some hot water. So we won't force that, because we don't force our toys to do things they shouldn't, kids. And as you saw before, he does stand well, unassisted, and bang. Not a problem at all. And I love to see that. Before we kit him up, let's do a little side-by-side with old mate Firefly. So you can see the webbing is exactly the same. Holster's the same. He's got the same sheath on the arms. Obviously, oh, that's interesting. I've just noticed that there is some brown muck on the back of my Firefly. And I wonder if that's because it's been posed in my dio. I dare say it is. Anyway, I digress. Same pouch here. Obviously different tampos up here. But if we look at the head sculpt here, Wreckage is definitely looking more grizzled. He doesn't have those sweet, sweet blue eyes of old mate Firefly. In terms of the figure height, I dare say they were exact. Yep, they look like it. Firefly definitely has more range of movement in that head, which is interesting. Just want to double check that, just in case it is a bit stiff. No, that's definitely not moving as well. So yeah, you can look at Firefly's bloated gut just sticking out because of this wobbly torso. Anyway, we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss this bloke. So, accessory wise, again, they are all pretty much Fireflies. I'm not going to do a comparison because I'm just not going to. But you will see that you have the same SMG, but in a different deco. Is it that flimsy plastic? Maybe a tad better than the Firefly one. But will I be using it? Probably not. Anyway, let's put the clipazine in there, because they're not clips and they're not mags. They're clipazines. And that is that. I do like it in the brown, but it's just it's not the greatest of weapons that we've had with the classified line. But that's okay. We have other companies that can fix those problems. And we'll discuss more of that in a moment. All right, so then you've got the sidearm, I should say. Just like I guess an M19, sort of. And the suppressor from the SMG can of course go on there. And there is a port for blast effects. It actually doesn't look too bad on that pistol. It's a bit bent, but whatevs. Again, this is not going to be used by me. It's just going to be tucked away into places for things to fit. Like here. I'll get this arm out of the way, and then we can... This holster is a bit closed over. This is not a bad thing. I guess it's just going to be a very snug fit. Oh, wow, that is super snug. A bit of heat would definitely aid my cause here, but I'm just going to jam it in there because why not? There we go. Bob's your uncle. and that's tucked away where it will stay in perpetuity. And then up next, the Firefly backpack reuse. I don't know if the display is different, but I know that the paint apps are, but it is the same thing. I had it upside down, apologies. Might as well just go ahead and throw that on there, see how it fits. I'm guessing not too bad. Yep, cool. For when you want to send him out into the jungle to blow stuff up. Next up is the knife, which we've seen before. Yeah, the reuse is what it is when it comes to some of these releases. However, some subtle changes on this figure might not have gone astray to separate him a bit more from Firefly, but it's a small gripe. Get this in. Oh, that just bent. It's a buggery. Not good, guys. Not good. Let's just try a bit. There we go. That one can go in there. And we are sorted. You've got a couple of mines. Yep, that's all they are, mines. And they can go on the backpack like so, and like so. Then you've got the detonator, which now from memory, that can be attached on the Firefly backpack. I just can't remember it. Oh, that's right, it goes in here. I think it's pretty short, just sort of slots in there. Okay. I haven't had my Firefly displayed with his backpack. I'm sure that went in there, or am I tripping? Could have swore it did. Now it doesn't want to. Alright, so after some fiddling around, I was able to get it to hold in there. Now, it will stay in, but, you know, for display purposes, this is going to come out pretty easy if you knock it or anything like that, but it does go in there. I also gave him a bit of a hot water bath on that arm, and we are rocking and rolling now in terms of his articulation on that front. So there. That is that. So continuing with his accessories, last but definitely not least is the helmet. Now, it looks fantastic in terms of the paint apps. I love how you've got like the little scorecard. Yeah, he's got 5 kills and 2 more on the other side. That makes 7, Adam. And yeah, it's a nice touch. How does it look on the figure? Good question. Let's bang it on. And there he is. Now, I prefer him sans helmet, but you know, if he's riding the ATV, safety first, folks. But that also, in my opinion, is asking for a bullet just because of it being a bright orange target on his head. But yeah, it is a nice piece. But yeah, it won't be really utilized by me. But we're all different. We all have our likes and dislikes. So tell me in the comments if you like the helmet and will you be using it. And that is all the accessories. I'm just gonna throw the SMG on. And of course, it being quite flimsy also can be a bit painful. With my Firefly, he has a gridiron version of his weapon, which I think looks better. Anyway, that is him holding the weapon, and he does obviously hold it well, no problems there. Again, it's just like Fireflies, but yeah. Now, what would he look better with? That's a good question. So, originally, when the figure appeared, the V1 figure appeared in a catalogue, I think it was a Sears catalogue, he was carrying a weapon which made a lot of sense considering he's a jungle specialist, and I think it looked really nice. And some of you will be definitely going, oh Adam, I know what you're about to put in his hand. And you're right, it is Rekondo's weapon. Now this is from the retro release, and I already think that's an improvement over the one that he comes with. It is green, obviously, so it does sort of pop a little bit. This will be going back to Rekondo's, won't be staying with him. But a gridiron version could remedy this, couldn't it? There's a lot of room for flexibility with this figure as far as I'm concerned. And so next up, let's try him with another accessory from the Joe line. And it also happens to be a retro. And again, fitting in with what he is and a weapon that was used heavily in such an environment, and that is the M16 that comes with the retro Scarlet. Again, because of that nice sort of green, but with this one you've got a bit of brown, I think it is a good look. It contrasts well with the figure, and until I get something better, I feel like I'm going to keep this on him. Yeah, I dig that. One more before we move on. And this is an accessory from another line that shall remain nameless, but I thought it really does suit the color palette of the figure. And I'm a sucker for this weapon, so why not throw on this stockless AK. Yeah, that looks fantastic too. I might even keep this on him. Decisions. Tell me what you like. What do you think? You're going to be switching it out from this for something a bit more ball tearing? Because I don't know about you, he's badass, and a badass needs badass weaponry. So yeah, that is a few different looks there. Hope you appreciated those. So I will now throw him into some poses and we'll see how he looks. He looks good on the ATV. What do you think, folks? I moved this here just to get it out of the way. Yeah, whatevs. Just one of those things that I don't really like about the vehicle overall, which I said in my Ferret review as well. Let's check some other poses out. It is not about to end well for the Ferret Scout. One of the gripes I have about the Ferret and the Tiger Paw is that, you've got the rack here at the back, but nothing that can fix to it. That is something that I dare say Gridiron will work with, and just like they did with the Vamp, and I can't wait to see what they do with that. But yeah, you want to be, if he's driving along, he doesn't want to have to be carrying all his stuff. So just thought I'd show that off. I didn't mention that in my last review, I don't believe. But that is Wreckage and the Tiger Paw. I don't have a massive amount else to say about it. I really like the figure, and I like the vehicle. As I said earlier, I did buy it for the figure, and I'm glad that I've got it. The reuse is in abundance. But, if we're getting a character that is a deep cut, I'm all about deep cuts. But I also want new characters. Lenny, if you're listening, new characters more, please. But yeah, I don't have any really faults with it other than, the NAF SMG. But that's an easy fix, as I've demonstrated in the video. Before I head off, I just want to shout out a good friend of mine, Matt. He tipped me off that these are available in Australia, and they are, I believe, still available in Australia from Pop Culture here in Melbourne. So you can hit them up if you want to get one of these. If you enjoyed the review, awesome. If you didn't enjoy the review, tell me why. I welcome all feedback, criticism, both good and bad. But if you did enjoy it, thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and that's all I got to say today, folks. Thank you, Mother, for the rabbits. Say hello to your dogs for me, and have yourself a belter of a day. Peace.